Well, new details have emerged about the Chinese spy balloon investigation. The U.S. military tracked the device for a week before it drifted across the continental U.S. So Ed O'Keefe is at the White House with more on these developments. Every day we're getting an interesting little nugget on this, Ed. Good morning.
We sure are. We've got another one for you now. CBS News has learned that intelligence officials had actually been tracking the Chinese spy balloon when it launched from Hainan Island off of the South China coast last month. It then drifted towards Guam and Hawaii before making a northward turn towards Alaska. Officials say it's possible the balloon was just blown off its initial course by weather, but they insist the Chinese still had control of it as the balloon came south over the lower 48 states. As for the 3 objects shot down this weekend by those U.S. fighter jets, the strongest theory now from the intelligence community is that the objects are benign or just harmless research balloons. But there's still no word on the condition of the wreckage at those 3 sites. And in the case of the object shot down over Lake Huron, we now know 2 missiles were fired, and the first one missed, but landed in the water. Privately recorded cockpit audio reveals that even the pilots were perplexed by what they saw.
I can see like lines coming down below, but I can't see anything below it. It's definitely smaller than a car.
President Biden has said very little about this in public. No word on what he thinks of the Chinese using this balloon. No word of why he ordered down those 3 objects over the weekend. Lawmakers now briefed on the details of all this say he should be saying much more. But today, Anne-Marie, he's headed up to Maryland to give a speech on the economy.
Of course, the economy. You got those numbers that came in that he likes. Listen, before I let you go, got to ask you about the classified materials ongoing investigation, particularly the ones that were found at President Biden's residence in his former office. We've learned that he has given a briefing, or a briefing was given to the bipartisan congressional group known as the Gang of 8 to talk about the mishandling of classified materials. What can you tell us?
It's going to be given, yes.
Oh, it's going to be.
And it's still unclear who exactly is getting it. At least the top 2 members of the Senate Intelligence Committee are expected to, because Democrat Mark Warner and Republican Marco Rubio have been pushing so hard for the information, arguing that as head of the Intelligence Committee that oversees the nation's intelligence agencies, they have every right to know whether or not any of the nation's intelligence or deepest, darkest secrets were compromised in any way. The Justice Department and the committee are working on a plan to have a general briefing, according to reports, that would sort of go over the general gist of what was found, but not necessarily all the details. This infuriates lawmakers who say, look, we've got just as much right to see this stuff, to know about it, as anyone else, and that our knowing what the information was, the content of the documents found, should have no bearing on the ongoing investigation. It's that the Justice Department has cited as the reason why they don't want to be telling lawmakers anything, because they don't want to compromise their ongoing investigation.
All right. Ed O'Keefe, thank you.